start off my day the exact same way. It's with one of these, like, I don't know what to call it, a super drink, we'll say. It's got some creatine, it's got some hydration, it's got some green stuff that just covers all my vitamins, all my probiotics to support my nutrition and just overall health. I really drink this in the morning because it gives me a boost of energy throughout my day, especially from the salt. I like what the salt does to my brain. It definitely makes me feel more wired and gets me more ready to just tackle my day. So it's really just a great start to my morning. I just got done with my morning routine, and there is a big reason why I actually don't eat in my morning routine anything for breakfast. And it is because when you're fasted, your mind works so much better, as it's not really trying to focus on digesting your food, but it just get into like creative tasks like editing and things like that. I'm trying to eat healthy for a couple different reasons. One is for my brain. Like right now when I'm fasted, I definitely get a lot more work done than if I ate breakfast for this morning. I'm also training for a 50K ultra marathon and just overall trying to put on a little bit of muscle just so I can look and feel stronger. And if I eat the right foods, I can push myself so much harder in my workouts and just get to my goals quicker. Work session is done and we got a decent amount done today. My MacBook is slowly dying, but we are able to move on to breakfast, yes. But this breakfast isn't just to eat and enjoy, it's to fuel us for our workout. Okay, so as we wait for this massive 600 calorie bowl of oat bran to cool, let me explain to you the way I prioritize my eating. The number one most important thing for me right now is calories. I'm eating 1,800 calories a day because I can't really do any real good cardio with my injured knee. So that's why filling foods are some of the most important things to me right now, because it lets me stay full while I can't really eat too much food throughout the day. Next up on the totem pole is protein. I try and get 150 grams of protein a day, which is about how much I weigh. That would support muscle growth and also healing my knee a little bit faster. The third thing I try and prioritize is carbohydrates before a workout, because this fuels my workout, as carbohydrates are a quick source of energy. They let you just burst and pump through some workouts, hit it a little harder. Just finished up the oat bran, and now my body should be fueled with some good carbohydrates to absolutely murder this workout. But there are some struggles that I really go through when I'm trying to diet. The biggest challenge for me on a diet is going out, and when I go out with friends, I really just go off the rails and just eat literally everything in sight. Like if I'm out and we order pizza, I will eat probably 6 or 7 slices of pizza. Then I have to spend the whole entire week trying to get back down to a lower body fat that I was at before, and it just wasn't worth it. But the way I overcome this is I give myself an 800 calorie cheat day once a week, where I'm allowed to eat 800 calories over my limit, which still gives me the freedom of going out with friends and having some food that I like. So it's not that detrimental in my dieting, and I don't have to work too hard to burn those extra calories off. It's 3:30 right now, and I just finished up another work session. I try and always push out my lunch as far as I can, just so I can deal with the hunger early in the morning. And as it gets later in the day, I won't really have to deal with that hunger, and I can be full and satiated at nighttime. This is my first meal after my workout, so it's also the highest protein meal of the day. Even though it's not directly after my workout, I try and eat the most grams of protein after I lift, because then in theory it should go straight to my rebuilding muscle rather than eating a bunch of fats and carbs right after I lift. The reason I love this stuff is because it's super high protein content, and it is also probably the most filling food on planet Earth. As you know, my goals as a hybrid athlete are to stay lean, build some muscle, and run a race, which if you don't know about, you will learn about in a future video. But that means there's some small details that I really need to focus on, like my hydration. I try and make sure to drink at least a gallon of water a day. This is basically just to get the creatine into full effect, because the more water you drink with creatine, the more water it'll load into the muscle and indirectly put on more muscle mass in the process. And also that gallon of water a day will make sure I don't cramp when I'm able to run again. But to be properly hydrated, you need to have enough sodium, which I definitely have with that morning element packet that I drink every every single day. I am back in the kitchen and it is grub time part 3. It's about 5:30 right now, but I like giving myself a 10 to 6 eating window because if I eat all my food in the same time, it makes me feel more full. So for dinner, I see where my macros are and I see the changes and the foods that I need to eat at that point. But basically at the end of the day today, I need a good amount of protein, a decent amount of fat, and not too many carbs to try and reach my macro goals the best I can. Let me put on muscle, live a healthy life, and eventually train for this race, which you guys may or may not know about. My last meal of the day is always just try to balance out my macros. I had some carbs left over, so I needed an apple. I needed some fat, so I had some eggs. And the chicken provides some protein. But overall, this is a pretty filling meal. It's nothing crazy. A good rule of thumb that I follow is pretty much try and eat whole foods. Like this apple has only one ingredient and it is apple. This chicken has one ingredient and it is chicken. The egg has one ingredient and it is egg. So if you can find foods that have only one ingredient, that is pretty much a good rule of thumb to go by. And 99% of the times, those are really healthy foods. Dieting is about finding your own challenge and figuring out how you can overcome it. Like I overcame my challenge of hunger, maybe your challenge is sugar addiction. You have to find your own balance because consistency is what builds great things. So if you're not consistent with a diet, it'll never work. That wraps up our full day of eating, and if you want to see a video of my whole entire day, not only my diet, but my exercise routine, my school routine, watch my day in the life, and make sure to join the Sculpted Beast Squad if you want to become part of this great journey.